What's poppin', socialites? It's your boy Billy Cash back again with another episode of Social Climate. You know what I'm talking about? Man, shout out to all the viewers, shout out to the subscribers, shout out to the people that share my video, shout out to the notification click that hit like before the video even start. And on this episode right here, we're speaking about false prophets. 3 Toledo, Ohio pastors who have been charged with sex trafficking of underage girls. You know what I'm talking about? Minors, fam. These nasty motherfuckers, I hope they get put underneath the jailhouse for doing these lewd acts with these little girls. Social Climate, let's get it. This podcast is brought to you by niggas who are generally concerned with most of the dumb shit that's going on right now. By the way, I'm your host, Billy Cash, aka Cole, and welcome to Social Climate. Now, let me tell you who you're looking at. You're looking at Cordell Jenkins, 47 years old. You're looking at Anthony Haynes, 38 years old. And you're looking at Kenneth, Butler, 37 years old. These guys are pastors in Toledo, Ohio. And they've just been hit by the United States government with a whole slew of charges, including sex trafficking, pimping and pandering, lewd acts with a child, pornographic videos with a child, and a whole bunch of other legal terms that I would care not to discuss because it's too much. It's too much. But let me tell you how it all broke open. A 14-year-old girl was brought to the attention of the U.S. attorney. From 2014 to 2017, she had been groomed for prostitution. And all 3 of these men had sex with her. She said she'd even had sex in the Greater Life Christian Center, pastored by Anthony Haynes. And by me looking at this case, it seems like Anthony Haynes is the mastermind. But that's just my opinion. Oh, fam. And it was even more girls recruited over the time between 2015 and 2017. So look, we're going to look at some video on this, and I'm coming back. Social Climate.
Back home, 3 local pastors all in the courtroom facing a federal judge together. Cordell Jenkins, Anthony Haynes, and Kenneth Butler's child sex trafficking cases combined today with a new list of charges. Michelle Zapata is live from federal court to explain why today's hearing was important. Michelle.
Well, as you know, Cordell Jenkins and Anthony Haynes, they were arrested back in April. Then Kenneth Butler was added to the case, being arrested in October. So in order to simplify things here at federal court, as this slowly moves forward, they essentially combined all of the men's charges into one indictment. Now, all men, once again, pleading not guilty to the serious charges they face, those charges including sex trafficking of children and producing child porn. This after the men were accused of having sex with young girls in their churches and hotels. These are federal charges, and if found guilty, they could face a sentence of life in prison. Right now, all of the men have been ordered to remain locked up pending a trial or plea deal. This is what Cordell Jenkins' attorney had to say about how his client is handling all of this.
Obviously, it's very difficult for him and his family. You know, someone who's essentially never been in trouble before, to all of a sudden to have these kinds of charges. So we're trying to keep him as upbeat as we can, and his family's trying to do that too.
Now, all 3 men will be back here at federal court in January for another hearing, and more than likely, they will move forward having these hearings together. But if they do determine to go to trial, those trials will happen individually for each of the defendants. Reporting tonight live.
I can't believe it. All 3 of the pimping, pandering, porno preachers of Toledo, Ohio, pled not guilty. Now, it's evident that they're guilty because the U.S. attorney is involved. And apparently, it's not said, but you know you got statements from these young ladies. And you can see with everything that's going on in the world right now, women are coming out in droves to say what a person made me do. Now, the 14-year-old girl was receiving hush money, like $100, $300 every visit to one of these guys, or even more guys, because there's pimping allegations. So it's probably not only Cordell Jenkins, Anthony Haynes, and Kenneth Butler. Oh, no, there's probably other preachers, other clergymen involved. This is just my opinion. And I'm thinking that where were these girls' parents at? I think the parents dropped the ball on this. I understand that you have to go out and work 3 jobs and try to maintain. And I know you guys are in the Midwest. You know, you're right by Michigan. You're right by Detroit. Detroit prides itself on pimping, where they did back in the day. I know some honorable guys from Detroit, man, that's real stand-up dudes, you know what I'm talking about? But I mean, you know, if you look at Donald Goins and you read some of his books Iceberg Slim and Horror Son and all this, you know what I'm saying? They pride themselves on pimping in that area. So, you know, and you look at the age of some of these guys, hey, they might have came right along during that time of the Donald Goins novels. But you know what? It's not even about that. It's about getting these fake prophets off the streets. And if you a fake profiteer and you playing with the church and using that as a stronghold on people, I hope they get your ass off the streets too. Social Climate. I'm out. Click like and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. Yeah.